Hi, I'm Barbara Dillon. I am one of the creators of the Katniss Chronicles. We have the entire creative team with us. We have Bryan Dillon, Sam Rhodes, Tony Caballero, and Rebecca Lear is here as well. And the Katniss Chronicles is an audio drama. It's completely fan-made, and it is an adaptation of The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. We all just really absolutely love the book, so we are huge fans. And so we decided to bring it to a radio drama or audio drama format. What we did is we adapted the book into 17 episodes. They're all available for free online on iTunes, as well as on our website, thekatnisschronicles.com. And it's 17 episodes with full voice actors, sound effects, composition by Sam Cushion, and we take you all the way through the story of the Girl on Fire. Probably wondering how the Katniss Chronicles started, so I'm going to turn things over to Bryan for that.
After Barbara shared the books with me, I was obsessed, and so was everyone, honestly. But we had such a creative team with our friends and coworkers that we thought there's got to be something that we could do. We'd seen a lot of really cool film versions that people had been doing fan-created scenes from the books, and we thought audio dramas were suddenly this thing that people were playing around with again because of the iPod being really popular. It's easy to download an episode and listen to it. And so we just decided to start writing around last year's Comic-Con, honestly. And it took off from there. The episodes just kept getting more and more interesting for us. The sound effects and editing that Sam was doing were amazing, and
there was a learning curve.
There was a learning curve.
They were like a little rocky, but
right.
We got through it.
But then once the fans got a hold of it, it just was out of our hands, and we just have to feed the fire. Okay, so you're probably wondering about the process of creating the episode, so I'm going to pass it on to our director, Sam Rhodes, to explain that.
Yeah, basically, as Bryan mentioned, we had a lot of creative people around us and were really fascinated with this book. And so when we decided to make it into an audio drama, the first thing we sort of had to do was write it, which we'll talk about in a minute. But we also had to, after we did that, we had to cast it, and then I'm the director of it, so I was basically what we did is we had all the equipment in our apartment we do a podcast, and so we just had all our actor friends, we cast the parts, we had all our actor friends come and play the parts. They would come to Bryant and Barb's apartment, actually, and we'd set the mic up and record them, and I'd sort of direct them. Yeah, and that was it was really sort of lo-fi. It was kind of with what we had, and a lot of, like I said, a lot of our friends, we live in LA, and one thing that there are a lot of in LA is actors, including ourselves. So we knew a lot of people, and we also, went out to other people, like sort of put feelers out to other people who might be interested in this. And so yeah, anyway, it was all done in an apartment, and then we sort of, after we recorded everything. Yeah, we did sort of I edited it all. So
right. Tell them about Sam Cushion's music.
Oh yeah, and Sam Cushion's music makes this takes this to another level, really, to me, because he has music that is for specific moments in the book, and so basically it was kind of set up for us, and the music just really gives this sense of depth to the thing that we couldn't have achieved just with the actors, as great of a job as they all did. You're probably wondering about the writing process, so I'm going to turn it over to Tony, our head writer, to talk about that.
Well, the main thing that came from the writing is that we wanted to stay as faithful to the material as possible, because like Bryan and Barbara said, we love this work, and we know the fans love it too, and so if we didn't do it right, we would hear their wrath. But because the book is so internal, the biggest thing we had to do is we had to create some additional characters to help with the exposition. And it turned out that helped us through the story, and it helped us bring out more of the story than is just on the page, because we got to show other points of view. And I think that made it richer for us and still allowed us to stay as faithful to the original material as possible.
So we're going to do an excerpt from the first episode. So we're going to do a bit of a reading, and Peta is going to play, or Peta, Bryant, who plays Peta, is going to play Gale. And you can find all of these episodes at thekatnisschronicles.com, as well as on iTunes. Gale shouldn't have taken that dig at Madge. Yes, the reaping's unfair, with the poor getting the worst of it. It's all about the numbers. You become eligible for the reaping the day you turn 12. That year, your name is entered once, at 13 twice, and so on until you reach 18 when your number goes into the pool 7 times.
Did you see the pin on her dress? That could keep my family in bread for 6 months. And she's never even had to consider adding for Tesserae.
And there's the catch. Say you're poor and starving. You can choose to add your name more times in exchange for Tesserae. Each Tesserae is worth a meager year's supply of grain and oil for one person. You can do this for each of your family members as well. So at the age of 12, I entered my name 4 times. Once because I had to, and 3 more times for Tesserae for food and grain and oil for me, Prim, and my mother to keep us alive come winter. In fact, I've had to do this every year. And the entries are cumulative. So now at the age of 16, my name will be in the reaping 20 times. Gail, who is 18 and has been single-handedly feeding a family of 5 for 7 years. How many do you have this year?
42.
It's useless to worry about things like that are out of our control. I've listened to Gail rant in the woods about how the Tesserae are just another tool to cause misery here, to keep those who have and those who don't from ever trusting anyone. And we might talk about it, like we always do, in the woods, not in town where people might hear. If it wasn't reaping day, if a girl with a gold pin and no Tesserae hadn't made an innocent comment. It's all about the numbers.
Here's your share.
Thanks. See you in the square?
Wear something pretty.